Uh, in the course of this half an hour presentation, which is exclusively dedicated to the 22nd ruler of Mysore. In all, there were 25 rulers who ruled from 1399 to 1947. He is the 22nd Maharaja of Mysore. He succeeded Tipu Sultan. There was a brief gap of 38 years in which Tipu Sultan and his father Hyder Ali had to ransom the Mysore royal family, and the crown was reverted back to the old royal family by the British in 1799 after the Fourth Mysore War. Krishnaraj Wadeyar is popularly known as Mummudi. Mummudi in Kannada is three. There were four Krishnaraj Wadeyars. The Krishnaraj Wadeyar, the fourth, overshadowed all the other kings. That is the golden period of Mysore's history. But equally important is the contribution of this king, Krishnaraj Wadeyar III. And when I refer to Mummudi, we are referring to Krishnaraj Wadeyar III because that name is very big. This is Krishnaraj Wadeyar Mummudi being coronated as a 5-year-old child after the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. We should thank his grandmother Mahamadhu Sri Lakshman Mani for opening backdoor negotiations with the British before the Fourth Mysore War and getting the kingdom back to the rightful heirs. So that is Diwan Purnaya, and that's the Duke of Wellington who attended his coronation ceremony. When you look at the corpus of Mummudi's works, literary works, they number more than 70. There are at least 6 illustrated manuscripts as far as board games are concerned. Out of the 70, there are about 6 that are exclusively about board games. We have a book, Chaduranga Saraswa, which is 666 pages, devoted to only chess. We have Sri Krishna Chaduranga Sudhakara, which is 118 pages, which are variations of the chess invented by Mummudi Krishnaraj Wadeyar. We have the Sankhya Shastra, which is 65 pages, which deals about the use of numerology in games. We have the Kempu Kitabu, which is 98 pages, which is again a medley of different board games. Then we have 2 versions of Chaduranga Chavakrita Chakra Manjari. This is again the partial Knight's Tour and the complete Knight's Tour. We are going to learn about what's the Knight's Tour in the course of this presentation. And we have the Chaduranga Chakra. Because we just have 30 minutes, I'm going to show you pages only from the Chaduranga Chakra. This is a manuscript that was perhaps written in 1832. We are not sure because there is no date. The other details are there, but we assume it is 1832. It could be between 1832 and 1850. In the course of this entire presentation, we are going to see manuscripts which have been illustrated with paintings and line drawings in Mysore style. We are going to see paintings on paper, lithographs, wooden inlaid game boards, clock boards and prawns, printed game boards on cloth, scrolls pertaining to games on paper, painted playing cards, copper plates inscribed with game boards. We are going to see all of this, the contribution of the Maharaja of Mysore. This big book begins very abruptly because a few pages in the front and at the back are missing, and this book looks like some other manuscript has been bound together for safety. It looks like 2 books have been joined together, but both are of the Mummudi era. So even though there is no continuity, we can understand that it deals with board games. And there is no forward given in the book because all Nummudi's books have forwards very clearly written in ornate blurbs, but this book doesn't have a forward. And we as researchers speculate that it might be one among the several volumes of such books. This book abruptly begins with these 4 games. Now let us examine this few of the pages from this book. We are not going to go into a lot of detail. This is very elegantly inscribed in the Kannada language, which is one among the 3 oldest languages of India apart from Tamil and Telugu. The borders are in ochre yellow and there is a turmeric dye that has been used. And the papers are British watermark paper. That is why it has survived. They're cold pressed watermark paper from Britain. That is why it has survived in very excellent condition. It begins with that. Can we go back? This is a square-shaped hunt game. The script mentions that it has Chauka the Huli Kallu. Chauka in Kannada is a square, Huli Kallu is tigers and stones. But this is actually popularly now known as Hasuchityata, cows and leopards. And this is a popular game in South India. We move on to the next slide. This is again, it says Trikona Kara Huli Kallu, that is a triangle shape. Goats and tigers. It mentions 3 tigers and 17 sepoys. Right now it is played with 3 tigers and 16 goats. These are some of the variations by Mummudi as used sepoys in place of goats like that. And we also have this game Dachibara, which is again very popular across India. After Pachisi, this is the most popular board game across India in our documentation in the last 25 years. We have seen this board game played extensively in Karnataka, several parts of Karnataka, because Karnataka itself has 5 different regions. We have Hyderabad, Karnataka, we have the Malnad region, then we have the old Mysore region, we have the Karavali, which is the coastal region, and it is known by different names: Chaukabara, Chakara, Chakka, Gattemane, Dachibara, and Gattemane. We've seen this game being played in different places, and it is known as Dutharda in Sanskrit. This is a Sanskrit village in Karnataka where we found this name, and it's known as Chalas in Rajasthan, Chalpur in Gujarat, then Kavadi in Malayalam in Kerala, Ashtachema in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and parts of Orissa which border Andhra Pradesh. It's known as Kattadaim in Tamil and Bara Atte in Marathi. We've seen this in Kolhapur. We've recorded this in Kolhapur. This is again Basvanata, not a very popular game. This is played by 4 people with 4 single pawns and 6 cowrie shells. This is a portable game box that rests with the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. You might be interested to know how did it go there. Now, Mundi Krishnaraj Wadeyar was just the ruler, a figurehead ruler from 1838 to 1888 for 50 years, which is known as the period of rendition. He was just the figurehead. There were the British commissioners who looked after the affairs of Mysore. The only reason was they wanted the proper payment for the war damages of the 4th Mysore War. Mysore kingdom paid war damages for 46 years in gold coins to the British for losing the 4th Mysore War. And that is why the British resident commissioners were there, because we defaulted twice. And for 50 years that was the punishment. And they plundered the rich Mysore kingdom. Now, why were these beautiful portable board games created, and why did it go to London? Every time the British Parliament sat in session, a representation went from the Mysore kingdom asking them to return the kingdom to the British, to the royal family. So this went on for 50 years. Every time the representation went to the British Parliament, gifts were sent to the Queen of England, and this is one of the gifts. These gifts include golden puja sets weighing about 3 kilograms. It includes a miniature version of the Mysore throne, the more fabulous Mysore throne, and this game board. Since this is the subject of our conference, we just see the game board. The game board has different tires, and this is the finest of the inlay work that you can see from that period. Of course, some of the beautiful specimens are there in the Mysore Palace. The ivory inlaid doors, which match the beauty of this game board. This is the second tire. This is the third tire. This is the fourth tire. Of course, the description is there, so I won't go into those description.
Could you just go back to the third tire?
Second.
This is Chikka Hulikattu, small one.
Yeah.
Then we have this cross puzzle, which sir was asking. I don't know which this game is. This is a cross puzzle. Then we have a Basman Atta here, and this is a magic square, which I'll be explaining a little later. We'll go to the third tire. So we have this Adu Puli here. Of course, it shows a tiger and a soldier. Then we have Nakshatra Atta, which is a solitaire game. He says Ombattu Kallina Atta, which is played with 9 stones. And we have a Panchi, and this is a Chikka Ane Kattu Atta. This is a smaller version of the Mysore Kheda. This is the fourth tire. Yes, on the second page on the top, you see this beautiful game board of Panchi. Of course, this game predates Mumdi. This is for the younger scholars. Panchi also means a bird, and it comes from the word 5. So you have 5 houses, and each of the players has 5 pawns, and you have 5 cowrie shells to play this game. This is the Anekattu on the second page at the bottom, very beautifully illustrated. This is again another game that was invented by Mundi Krishna Prayer, and this is a Pachisi game with domes. So he has used the word Burujina Pagade Atta. Buruju in Kannada is a dome. So Pagade is Pachisi, Atta is game. Right? A Pagade board with domes. Now this one, you can see the number of counters, and there are 4 stick dice instead of 2. The regular game board has 96 houses. This one has 148 houses, because these are extra houses, and here also we have extra houses. We have 3 extra houses here. We have more number of houses, and we have 4 stick dice, because there are more number of houses, there are more number of dice. This is again another book, Kautakanidhi, which is 9 volumes. The last volume has these fabulous board games. These are fabulous board games. Amazing design, intervention, and the finest of the Mysore miniature painting. So this is again a Burujina Pagade Atta from the Kautakanidhi. This is a copy. 3 copies of this book were made. One was made for the Maharaja. On the top is written His Highness the Maharaja's copy. One copy was made for the Maharani of Mysore. It's written Maharani of Mysore. One copy was made for the library. It is known as the Saraswati Bhandar copy. So this is from the Maharaja's copy. There are slight variations in all the three copies. This is again a beautiful rosewood inlaid Burjana Pagade from Jagan Mohan Palace. We are quickly having a look at what are the surviving specimens to give you an idea what kind of game boards were created using different craft forms. Now we go on to this very beautiful 16-faced Pachisi. 16 people can play this. When we talk about family bonding, this is, you might be wondering why 16. This king had 4 principal wives and 24 junior queens. Perhaps he wanted his queens to play the game together. I don't know, this is just an assumption. So that is why he must have invented this. And there is a detailed description of how the board is to be made, what is the material to be used, as well as what the counters are to be made of. We go to the next slide. These are beautiful surviving specimens of Mumdi's period ivory counters, very heavy, each one weighs about 200 grams, and they are 2.5 inches in height and 2 inches in diameter. They are solid ivory counters with the regular dyeing method that is prevalent in Mysore. This is Mumdi Krishna Vadir, which is without his turban. The Mysore turban itself is a beautiful work of art, but it is a very rare painting. You see of Mumdi, a very benevolent ruler of Mysore who patronized the learned, and he renovated temples. He is gifting some jewelry to learned scholars. We move on to this, the 6th page. It says Ashtamukha Pagade Atta. This is for 8 people can play this, and this is again Mysore silk. Thanks to Tipu Sultan who introduced silk in Mysore. So we also have a very beautiful tradition of silk weaving, and this is a silk weaving 8-faced pagade in the collection of Jagan Mohan Palace. Again, we have this Shanmukha Pagade Atta. Raghu had shown you a copy that we created at Kalahasti, and you can see there is a detailed description of the counters, and there are 2 6-faced stick dice. Usually the stick dice are 4-faced, but he created dice with 6 faces. So you should look at all these minute details, especially the research scholars. We have this another game board which is in a little bad condition, but beautiful painting at Jagan Mohan Palace. You're going to see more beautiful specimens. This is one more. This is the Sadashiva Sayuja Pagade Atta. I'm going to come to this a little later in detail. This is again what is very nice about the book is he has written the date on which he invented the book. He has very clearly written the date, and also each of the games begins with a salutation to his favorite deity, Chamundi, who is the presiding deity of Mysore. He says salutations to the universal mother, Chamundambika. This, the ruler of Mysore who sits on the Karnataka Simhasana, bows his head at the feet, lotus feet of the goddess. That is how each of the game, the description begins. This is a very beautiful ivory inlaid game board that was created. That's the Devi Sayuja Mukti Atta. This is the Devi Chamundi, and this is brass and ivory inlaid. This is actually this was last seen in 1982 at a London auction house. We don't know in whose private collection this is right now, but this is undoubtedly a Mysore creation. Now, just to run through, we have a detailed description of the Devi Sayuja Mukti Atta in the form of Vishwarupa. It was invented by Mumbadi on 15th August 1834. Then another game, Shivalinga, this is the date. Another in the form of Brindavana, invented on 3rd November. And another one in the form of a serpent, invented in July. And another form of in the Pagade, invented in 1841. And when you look at the dates, these are the dates when he was free. They are the times which do not coincide with the Dasara festival, the Deepavali festival, the Krishna Janmashtami, of which he used to celebrate in a very grand manner, and his birthdays. You don't see any of the games on these dates. So it is on the other days that you see when he invented these board games. This is a beautiful painted board of the Devi Sayuja Mukti Atta. This is an ivory inlaid game board of the Devi Sayuja Mukti Atta. We are not going to the details because we don't have time. This is another painting in Sarpa Mandala. The recurring motif in several of the paintings are snakes, Nandi, then we have Vrindavanam, we have the chariots, we have Krishna as the recurring deity. These are all his favorite motifs. And most of the game boards are of very high artistic caliber, and they have been done by master craftsmen who were employed at the Mysore Palace. This is again Ganesha Panchayatana Sayuja Bheda Khelanam. They have painted Ganesha here and the 4 other divinities. This is Sadashiva Sayuja Atta in the form of Nagabandha, which is a serpent formation. Many of the kings of Mysore were adopted because there is a curse that the Mysore kings should not have progeny. That's a different story. So every alternate king was adopted. They came from old noble families, either they came from the lineage of Shiva worshippers or Vishnu worshippers or Devi worshippers. Now Mumbadi came from a lineage of Shiva worshippers. So his recurring theme,
Just mic a little closer, please.
the recurring theme you see is we have a lot of game boards with Shiva as the theme. His successor came from a lineage of Vishnu worshippers. Okay? We have 5 minutes, so we'll move fast. Mumbadi had a lot of companions who played games with him. This is one person, his name is Subaraya Dasa. He was a poet and a mystic, and Mumbadi also gave him some land where they constructed a very beautiful temple to Venkatramana Swami, and both of them played games. This is the painted pavilion in the Venkatramana Swami temple, and there is a game board here 16 by 16 which covers the main altar. You see here we have Venkatramana Swami, then we have Mumbadi here, this is Subraya Dasa, and this is Divan Purnaya. This is, we don't know who, we have not identified, but our area of interest here is this game board based on the karma theory. If you call me next year, I'll tell you what the karma theory is. That's for another day. This is the Shrikanta Sayuja Mukti Atta. There is a very famous temple near Mysore at Nanjangud, the Shrikanteshwara temple, and Mumbadi renovated this temple in 1840, spending about 20 lakh rupees. And this is an ivory inlay of the same game. We move on to the next slide. This is Mumbadi instructing an artist to create the game board. The palace had an atelier where there were recorded more than 40 artists working there on the regular payroll who created these game boards and paintings. Many of the artists, he has created an actually album of the artists also. Not only his, there were ladies who were artists, very accomplished ladies who were artists. So we don't know who has created these beautiful game boards. Each of them, they are not ascribed, but we have images and names of the artists. We move on a little faster. This is a partially solved magic tour in the form of the Gandaverunda. This imagery was borrowed from the earlier Vijayanagar empires. Now, what's a knight's tour? I'll tell you very briefly. The aim of this chess-inspired conundrum is to use the single horse, single piece, that's the single horse, that is the knight, to tour. Tour is the symbolic word to move. Okay, each square in turn without revisiting in turn any other. So that you do not repeat the move on the 64 or 144 squared house. That's known as the knight's tour. If you Google search, that itself is a very important game. Now, Mumdi did the knight's tour, and the knight's tour, for you to understand the knight's tour, he has done it in the form of a religious imagery. So this is the recurring theme in many of his books. This is again a partial magic tour in the form of Shanmuka. This shows a complete knight's tour in itself. The yellow grid shows the complete knight's tour. This is 1 to 64 is the complete knight's tour. This is in Kannada, and for your convenience, I've shown it in English numerals. While the other grid, 65 to 144, is outside the yellow grid. Now you can know that what kind of mind he had when he did all of these things. But this is in the form of an infant Krishna. The king himself was a very accomplished Veena player. He's a dramatist who's been credited with writing Yakshagana plays. Here he's paying obeisance to the Rajguru of Mysore, the Parkal Swami. I'm done with my time. Shall we move it fast, or can I take 5
I'll give
minutes?
you 5 minutes.
Okay. This is again in the form of Kamadeva, knight's tour, and the king was very particular that he documented all what he invented. And as the tradition in olden days, there are these copper plates. So he has recorded all his game boards and his knight's tour on copper plates. This is a very beautiful copper plate in the form of a swan on a 144 chessboard. And another thing is, there was a lot of royalty that visited Mysore, and this is a lithograph, painted lithograph, and this is a magic square on satin cloth. There was a lithographic press in the Mysore palace known as the Jagdamba Vilas. With the advent of the European press, it closed down, but it produced innumerable copies of this. And these two specimens are from an auction again in London. Mumdi was very fascinated with chess, apart from Pagade. So, what you see is the 400 Chaduranga going to Turkey as a Shatranj. It entered Europe through Spain as the 64 squared 2-player chess. He has done a reverse integration of the same game and invented a new game which is known as the Balavali Atta. If we have a chance, we will see how this is played at another time. This is Mumdi with his wife playing a game of chess. I'm showing you these because there are a lot of paintings where the recurring theme is game. This is Krishna playing a game of chess with his consorts if you look at the Harivamsha, there is mention that after the Mahabharata war, he goes back to Dwarka and indulges in this pastimes. And of course, very important contribution of Mumdi is for card games. And these are some of the beautiful specimen of Mysore Ganjifa cards. Mumdi not only played the Ganjifa card, but he improvised many of the existing Ganjifa games. From the Kautuka Nidhi, we learn that he improvised and invented 13 variations of the card game, existing card game, that require anywhere between 36 to 360 cards. This is again from the Shri Tattva Nidhi, the Kautuka Nidhi section. This is the Royal Standard. Then we have the recurring motif of the Gandaverunda coming there again and again. We move on to the next slide. I'm just showing you this because this is the highest quality of Mysore painting, and these are references as to how to make Ganjifa cards. This is from another 28 suit of the Dakshinamurti. These are from pages in the earlier Chaturanga Chakra. From pages 133 to 138, we have the Sara Sangra Petika having 360 cards when he invented this. Likewise, these are all the games that he has invented. This is for those of you, I think Ramesh wants to do research on Ganjifa cards. This is for your information. This is Mumdi sitting in consultation with the British officers. He was very proficient in Persian, which was the court language after Tipu Sultan. He knew Hindustani, Telugu, Marathi, and Tamil. His knowledge of Kannada is profound. Now, I think Matt was asking us, have you blended two games? Now, Mumdi has done this 150 years ago. He has used the form of Pagde, that is Pachisi, and created a snakes and ladders in the same game. Now, this is because snakes and ladders was the game of morality. Game of morality. The inscription is in Kannada. We will show you one, which gives you an idea. This is an elephant and this is a horse. This is the Kannada inscription, and these are the images. It says, if you are malicious, you will be reborn as a serpent. So, if you come to this house, when you throw the dice, you will have to jump to this place. And that is your karma. Then it says, if you trouble others, you will be reborn as a scorpion. Then you move there to the house where the scorpion is. Yes, we see some more beautiful specimens and run the presentation through. This is the Navagraha Pagdayata, which has both the zodiac signs as well as the solar signs. This is Mumdi playing the game with his favorite wife. These are painted game boards in the form of.
I request you to speak up. Ramesh has to.
Yes, we'll run through it. In the form of a Tantika. This is another game board in the form of a divination board. Another game board on both sides. We have about 5 paintings and we are done with the presentation. This is Mumdi again. This is the Prasanna Krishna Swami temple on the mural. Same temple, Krishna and Radha. Then this is another manuscript which shows the Maya Duta in the Sabha Parva of the Mahabharata. Same subject. This is again another illustrated manuscript which has game as a recurring theme. This is again Mumdi, who died at the age of 79. This is a scroll. We run through the scroll. I'm not going to describe it.
That's the game board there. This is just to give an example of the lithograph. Krishnan's concerts. He's playing an English card game. That's Mumti and his 4 wives and his son. Thank you.
Okay, that's a difficult session to chair, but it's very hard to cut short such a fantastic presentation. Sorry,